What's up, guys? Sean here from SRKCycles.com. We have a 1992. It's old. And it's good looking. Harley Davidson Electra Glide Sport. This is kind of like the predecessor to like the Road King-ish, because it doesn't have the front fairing. But look how clean the wheels are. We didn't even clean it. It also has Electra carb, Electra heads, and I think jugs. And it is a pretty cool bike. Electra sticker on the back. It's really good looking. Something unusual about it is with the Electra carb, it doesn't actually have a choke with a high idle. It just has a you pull a choke lever out, but it just makes the mixture rich. So if you leave it in there, if you leave it pulled out, it'll foul out the plugs. So let's see if we can get this thing fired up. Fires up pretty good. I'm just gonna keep it slow for a little bit and just be mindful that it's a little bit cold. And even when this thing is warm and it's idling, it's just like blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's real, you know, it's a performance engine kit on there. So it's gonna have a really low idle, and it's probably, you know, it's probably Electra cams and stuff. Pretty wild bike. It's amazing to me that I'm riding a bike that's a 92. So what you do is you kind of use your hand to just keep the idle up a little bit when you're going slow, or when you come to a stop. But then eventually, once it's all warmed up, it'll idle fine. And going down this hill, I'm going to push the choke in. Push the, not a choke, but the rich fuel mixture lever in. And I'll tell you what, this bike runs pretty good. It's very impressive for an older bike. It's got to be pretty cool to roll up to a place where everyone's riding, you know, 2000s and fairly new stuff, and you have a 1992. 92. Who is even alive in 92? Not Caleb. Not Caleb. It's a good riding bike. I just had this had the carb tuned up at the Harley Davidson dealership, and they were pretty impressed with how clean this thing was. Bangs through all the gears, no problem. It just cruises. It's very impressive. It's bikes like this that give Harley the good name that they have. And it is a pretty comfortable seat too. This thing says it's got 46,000 miles. Actually, the guy who owned this, and he only did the work to it maybe like 10 years ago. The guy who owned it actually passed away, and his friend inherited the bike. Well, the bike was a little too much for him, so he traded that in to me for a Heritage Softail that had 108 2,000 miles on it. It was a really, really clean looking Heritage. And it ran very well. Man, I'm impressed with how good this bike runs. After the bridge, we'll let it loose a little bit. Open up some of them ponies. What more can you ask for? And for the price I got this thing listed at, around $5K, I mean, you're getting a lot of bike. You're also getting a little piece of history. Someone will correct me on this one. Someone will destroy me if I'm wrong about this. But I'm pretty sure that this is the Evo motor. Am I right? Am I right, people? Is this the Evo motor? Which is a great motor. You got your high beams, low beams, neutral, whatever button that is. Turn signal button. Horn. Bump, bump. What a good riding bike. Who knew Harley made bikes that were pretty cool? In '92. They called this the toaster. The toaster gauges, I think, or waffle iron gauges or something. It's like a dash. This is a really, really comfortable seat. It kind of, I'm just snugged in there. I'm all nice and cozy. It's got a little bit of lumbar for me. It's got a decent amount of lumbar for me. The bike idles pretty well. Who's this fella? That's Caleb. Nice. Alright guys, that wraps up the test drive video. I will see you guys later.